Ja, you already know what it is, man. This is T Paris, aka the Young Marvin Gaye. This rap shit, most original, most creative, most in tune with the times, and I'm sort of like your inspiration. And this is P's Perspective, the recap. But let's not waste no time. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. This week's topic was titled Accountability. It was a dope topic. It was amazing. I mean, the feedback that we got back from the people was overwhelming, so to speak. We got a lot of insight. We got a lot of text messages. We got comments on the YouTube page. We got comments on the website. We got text messages. We even had people calling to talk about what we're doing right here at the round table of P's Perspective. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been getting involved. You know, thank you to all of the people that's showing support. We're going to get to some shout outs. We're going to get to some of the comments. But before we do that, let's just, break down a little bit about what we spoke about. Like I said, the topic was accountability. We broke it down into 3 subtopics. We had the household. We had the extended family, which is just basically going out into the community. You know, we spoke about the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, and just how that affects us all. And last but not least, we spoke about the social media aspect. I thought it was dope, man. Like I keep saying, it was amazing, man. Just the feedback, because people are really enjoying what we're doing. They lending their insight. They letting me know that they agree with me. But even further than that, they letting me know why they agree with me. So this dialogue is dope, man. We just got to get into some of these comments, man. Let's show these people some love, yo. Our first comment is coming from Antoine Walker. He says, T, you came out swinging on this one. This is the conversation that we have to have within our community before we can begin to expect those outside to take us serious, at least. You're right on target with this one. Well, thank you, Antoine. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your feedback, and I hope that you continue to chime in and let us know what you're thinking and what people are thinking inside of our community, man. Toast to the town. The next comment is coming from the Polo Grounds. Polo Carter, he said, you teaching. Let's take these to the public schools and make this fatherhood bond a tight one. It's February. Need I say more? Nah, you ain't got to say no more, brother. We appreciate what you saying. And if this is something that the people within the school system would like to implement to the children, I'll be more than welcome to come and bring it into the school system. I want to shout out to my brother Kareem Nelson, Wheelchairs Against Guns, because we're doing something similar with this right now, So I appreciate your insight, man. Toast to the town. The next comment is coming from Mock Four Corners. I want to let y'all know he commented on the first episode that we had, and we definitely appreciate that. He said, yo, this is Kills on the check-in. People need to know where the questions can be posted at, and how they could use the topics to touch one another. He said, you got some people out here in Europe, and they trying to understand what's going on. Well, shout out to the people in Europe. We appreciate y'all checking in. We definitely love the support, and if you just stay tuned and watch the rest of the show, I'm going to let you know how you could lend your insight. You can ask any questions if you want me to discuss them on the show. Just stay tuned, man. I got all the answers for you. And I appreciate you chiming in. Toast to the town. The next comment is coming from the Bronx, New York, Uncle Swizzle. He said, facts, T. Paris, you so right. And starting P's Perspective was definitely a good look as well. I can see that this is going to be very informative. Keep doing what you're doing, fam. I appreciate that, man. Toast to the town to you, brother. You always lending something positive to the community. And I just want you to continue to pay attention to what we're doing here. And when you get a chance, just chime in, because the positive feedback is always welcome. Toast to the town, brother. The next comment is coming from Sharon Fraser. She's out in Boston, Massachusetts. Pardon me, let me say that again. Sharon Fraser McLean. Shout out to your husband as well. She said, excellent topic. I'm curious to see people's response, because in my opinion, a lot of kids and even adults these days lack accountability. I think a lot has to do with the way we parent our kids these days. She went on to say that, believe me firsthand, I know that if you don't start when they're small, then it won't be that easy for it to sink in when they get to an older age. I had to break that down a little bit because she had a real long comment, but I wanted to get to a comment, but I also just wanted to let people know that, she making some good points. You can't wait until your kids become 17, 18 to want to become a disciplinary. By that time, they think they're adults, and they pretty much going to do what they want to do. But let's get back to these comments, and then we're going to chop it a little bit. The next comment is coming from Microphone Bully. Shout out to Microphone Bully. He says, this joint here, yes. Episode 2, accountability. All I got to say is this is 100% facts. This is not even a perspective. This is 100% facts. Every statement in this episode is true. We as people overall need to accept the fact that our actions not only reflect us, but our fam, our children, and our friends. The message here is this, in my eyes: if you co-sign negative, then you are negative. Simply the ugly truth. I changed one word because we're not going to curse like that. You know, we're going to keep it real, but we're going to try and stay away from the profanity. I know we got kids watching too, so we appreciate Microphone Bully for the comment. And yeah, I agree with you, man. If you're going to co-sign nonsense, then you got to stand next to the nonsense, man. The next comment is coming from William McMillan Terry. He said, I totally feel there's a thin line between parenting and friendship. I think you hit a point where you stated, if you're raising kids with friendship mindset, then that plays a part in the child's behavior. Parents must hold themselves accountable when these things in particular start to happen. He said he felt that made a lot of sense. He also went on to share a story about when he was growing up, you know, in times of need, if he decided he wanted to go out there and play the corner, how his old timers would pull him to the side and let him know, nah, you're not going to do that. You got a future doing something else. And whereas now when the little kids come out there and they want to get involved in the game, you know, it's easier to get a pack, you know. I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot has to do with the time that we in now. You know, it's pretty much a dog-eat-dog world. Everybody trying to get theirs. Not to say it wasn't like that before, but I just remember growing up with a little bit more morals, a little bit more principles. You know, my elders being there and they not being afraid to, you know, to step in. Like I said, the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. I got a couple more comments that I want to get to, and then we're going to wrap this thing on up. The next comment coming from South Carolina, Mama White, she said, this was awesome information. I love that you put the parents out there, you know, and listen to their children. You know, get upset. They get upset if someone step in and try to show them and show their children respect, you know. I do nothing wrong. She said, I see nothing wrong if you try to raise your child in a situation where you're trying to do the best for them. Mama, we appreciate your comment, and you know, we call her Mama White because she like mom to everybody, you know. Always been there for me and always gave me a good, positive word whenever I needed it. So I want to appreciate you, and I want to say thank you for, you know, lending your insight, Ma. The next comment is coming from Mo Sinatra. He said, I just landed. First thing I did was watch this to hit you up. My friends, he said, I'm friends with my sons, but at the same time, I make sure that they understand I'm daddy first. Before anything, these kids ain't being raised correctly. You know, a lot of their parents weren't raised correctly as well. He said kids now are kids in the 80s. They cracked. He said the kids now were 80s babies, and that's the crack era. No upbringing for themselves. So they let their kids run wild and do the same things that they did until ugly truth start to hit them in their face. I think your generation was the last to really be brought up with some morals. If you messed up, then you was getting messed up. You know what I'm saying? Again, we changed some of the words. He said, you know, people from the block before you made it home. He said it was the era where, you know, people let you know you had to get home before the street lights, you know what I'm saying, came on. We appreciate that insight, Cuzzo. You know what I'm saying? That's my cousin Mo Sinatra. And he hitting it right on the head, you know. When we was coming up, the old timers ain't waste no time. They hit you upside your head, man. They played the parent role if your parents wasn't a parent. We got 2-3 more comments, and then, you know, we're going to be finished. We got another comment from Cuzzo. He said, very insightful point of view. We appreciate you, Cuzzo. You know, anybody else want to leave comments and, you know, you want to leave anonymous name because for whatever reason, I welcome that too. You know, I'm saying Cuzzo because he didn't want to leave his government name, but that's all right. You know what I'm saying? At least he's taking the time to chime in with the dialogue. The next comment is coming from D-Lo. He said, good build, TP. Salute. Me and D-Lo do this often, so I appreciate you commenting, D-Lo. I know you paying attention, but I appreciate you taking the time to comment to let the world know what's going on. The last comment, it comes from Cap Nels. He said, it's a blessing to hear the concerns of not only you, but the other 2 people who commented. He's speaking about the people who commented before him, and this was on the website. He commented early. He said, it's important to think that the future are our youth, and they have to plan accordingly. We're fighting a very scary war right now. No one is going to come to rescue us. You need to become the change that you want to see in the world today. I'm raising a young lady that's going to be a doctor, so I'm hopeful that there are young men out there who are going to be raised to match her drive. Peace and blessings. I want to say I apologize for the mistakes. I'm trying to read these comments and try to keep the blog at a minimal amount of time. But, you know, at the same time, the message is important and it has to get out there, you know. Accountability is a two-way street, you know. Just as much as you are accountable for your actions, we have to be accountable for our influence. So if you out there, you know, putting battery in somebody's back or influencing them to do things that you know yourself are negative, I hope that you're willing to stand next to them consequences as well. For the people who want to know how to chime in, how to get involved with the roundtable discussion, again, you could leave a comment on the YouTube page, leave your comment on the Facebook page, leave your comment on the website page. You can also email me at tparismusicgroup1@gmail. And last but not least, I want to wish everybody a blessed night. Next week, the next blog is going to be the beginning of February, which will be Black History Month. You know, that's coming up, so we're going to have a lot of dope dialogue going on about Black history and, you know, just people of color. So I want y'all to stay tuned, and I want y'all to send those topics in, man. Toast to the town. Peace.